Hey, hear that? Sounds like chorus frogs. Must be spring in northeast Oregon. Here in the Grand Ronde Valley, we have 3 native frogs, 1 introduced species, 2 native toads, and 1 kind of salamander. Let's start with the frogs. Pacific chorus frogs are the most abundant native frog in the Grand Ronde Valley. They come in 2 flavors, green and brown. These are just color variations, like hair color in mammals. Pacific chorus frogs can be recognized by their dark eye stripe and enlarged toe pads. Only the males sing or chorus in spring to attract females. They vocalize by inflating a thin pouch under their chin. Males and females can be differentiated by the color of their throat. It's dark in males and light in females. Chorus frogs lay eggs in just about any standing water in April and May. The eggs hatch into small tadpoles that metamorph quickly into adults before fall. You can find them in lots of different habitats, even around town or sometimes in basements or sheds. Columbia spotted frogs are threatened throughout their range in the Pacific Northwest due to habitat loss and predation by introduced bullfrogs. Spotted frogs are slightly larger than chorus frogs. They have a faint eye stripe similar to that of chorus frogs, but it's generally not as distinct. Spotted frogs also typically have a white mustache-like stripe above their upper lip, and they lack the enlarged toe pads. Columbia spotted frogs usually have some yellow patches on their belly or thighs as well. Spotted frogs lay large egg clusters in shallow water in mid-April here in the Grand Ronde Valley. Tadpoles hatch in about 10 days and disappear into their pond. They usually metamorph into adults before fall, but sometimes overwinter as tadpoles and metamorph the following summer. The American bullfrog is native to the southeastern U.S., but has been introduced widely throughout the western states. This species has become a serious threat to many native amphibians. These frogs live for up to 25 years, get very large, and can eat anything that fits in their large mouths. This includes tadpoles, other frogs, or even young birds. Bullfrog tadpoles are very large compared to those of other frogs. The tadpoles are herbivorous and feed only on algae. They generally live for 2 years before metamorphing into carnivorous adults. Western toads are another species of concern in Oregon. They require ponded water for breeding, but when the new toadlets complete their metamorphosis in late summer, they disperse away from their natal ponds, often into woodland areas. Toads are distinguished from frogs by the presence of a large parotid gland behind the eye. Western toads have pads on their feet to assist with digging burrows where they hide during the day. In the evening, they emerge to feed on their insect prey. Toads are long-lived and have a unique ability to inflate their bodies when threatened to appear bigger than they really are. Here's a brand new baby toadlet just leaving its natal pond at End Creek. We have only 1 species of native salamander in the Grand Ronde Valley. This is Ambystoma macrodactylum, the long-toed salamander. Salamanders may be fairly abundant in the right habitat, but they are secretive and are seldom seen. They live under rocks and woody material near water. Their life cycle is similar to frogs. They lay eggs in late March or early April, and then the eggs hatch into these beautiful gilled larvae. The larvae develop into mature adult salamanders. There are 2 other amphibians that you may find in northeast Oregon if you look in the right places: Rocky Mountain tailed frogs and Great Basin spadefoot toads. You won't find Rocky Mountain tailed frogs in the Grand Ronde Valley, but there are a few mountain streams around the perimeter of the valley where they live, such as the upper reaches of Catherine Creek. The tail on these frogs is only found on males. It's actually an appendage for inserting sperm into the females. This is an adaptation for fertilization in moving water, since these frogs live in streams instead of ponds. Great Basin spadefoot toads were only recently discovered in the Grand Ronde Valley, and only a few have been found. The best chance for finding them is to take midnight hikes on rainy spring nights and listen for males calling to find mates. These are the amphibians of Northeast Oregon. Remember, if you find frogs in the wild, it's always best to avoid catching or handling them. Human contact can spread disease or be harmful in other ways. Also, never release pet store-purchased frogs into the wild. They often carry fungal infections that can spread to native frogs. You can enjoy watching frog and toad behaviors and make some photographs if they hold still long enough. With amphibian populations declining throughout the world, we must do all we can to help keep our Northeast Oregon frogs safe and healthy.